Did you know that in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, if you press the R1 button during the game's opening title sequence, this will happen?
Snake Eater, Snake Eater, Snake Eater.
So you can ruin one of video game's best songs by having a lady whisper Snake Eater whenever you like. Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments down below and don't forget to leave a like. If you do, I'll stop stealing your dad's car keys. Oh, and of course a huge thank you to my Patreon backers and YouTube channel members for their awesome support. To learn more, click the link in the description. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with one of 2023's biggest disappointments. In Redfall, you can choose from one of 4 different characters to play as. And whilst the difference between the 4 typically boils down to their abilities and appearance, there are more subtle distinctions between certain characters that you might have missed. For example, here I am playing as Jacob, and this is how Jacob plays the guitar. Okay, so Jacob is pretty good at playing the guitar. Let's see how another playable character, this time Devinder, compares. Okay, so Devinder isn't as good. That's alright, maybe his skills lay elsewhere, like the piano perhaps. Right, so Devinder is much better on the piano than he is on the guitar. But what about Jacob? So Jacob isn't as good on the piano as Devinder. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, certain characters are better at certain instruments, despite it not being important to the game at all. It's a really cool detail. Next up is one of the coolest details I think I've seen in a long time. Amnesia The Bunker is the 4th installment in the Amnesia series, and as you might expect, the game takes place in a bunker. An underground World War I bunker, to be exact. Now, given that Amnesia The Bunker is a horror game, enemy troops are the least of your concerns, as shortly after entering the bunker, you'll be hunted by the Beast. The Beast is an intimidating foe, and you'll often find yourself running around the bunker looking for places to hide. One of those places is a pillbox, which, in a really big case of out of the frying pan into the fire, is being watched by a sniper, who is not shy at taking shots at you. It's not all doom and gloom though, you can have some fun with the sniper. If you grab a soldier's helmet and hold it in the air, this will happen. So the enemy sniper will shoot the helmet right out of your hands. I don't know why I find this so cool, but hopefully you do too. Speaking of details that I'm not entirely sure why I find so cool, next up is Goat Simulator 3. Now, when it comes to attention to detail, the Goat Simulator games are hardly the first that come to mind. Well, have you seen what happens when your goat drives a car? So your goat will hang its head out of the window as it drives. Like I said, I don't know why I find this so funny, though it does remind me of Ace Ventura, and anything that does that usually gets love from me. Next up is the original Lego Batman. Now, over the course of this series, we've covered loads of cool details from Lego games, but one of the only Lego games we haven't covered is the original Lego Batman. The first detail from the Dark Knight's maiden brick-based outing can only be seen when playing with another person. If you have Bane attack Batman, this will happen. So Bane will pick Batman up before breaking his back over his knee, which is a really cool nod to the comics. The other Lego Bats detail is actually pretty handy if you're bad at the game, though considering there isn't any real sort of punishment for dying in Lego games, how bad can you really be? Anyway, ignoring that life-changing question, if you attack Ra's al Ghul, this will happen. So, given his use of the Lazarus Pit, which restores life, Ra's will slowly but surely regenerate health after being damaged. Details and Easter eggs in the LEGO games are some of my favourite to cover, so if you know of any other cool things that I might have missed, please let me know. Now, long-time fans of Easter eggs and details in games may remember the strange monkey family that you could find in Halo 3. The reason for their existence was never made clear, and it was assumed that they were just a really odd Easter egg. Well, it turns out that wasn't the only time one of these strange creatures could be seen in the Halo series. The epilogue of 2009's Halo ODST doesn't actually feature any gameplay. Instead, you watch as the team plans their next move. It's a pretty cool cutscene featuring series favourite Sergeant Johnson. Now, just because I said there isn't any gameplay, that doesn't mean control is completely taken away. During the epilogue cutscene, if you look to the left, just as Sergeant Johnson puts his cigar in his mouth, this will happen.
Exactly what they're looking for. And then you're going to help me stop them.
Like I said, I have no idea if there is any meaning behind these ape-like creatures, and to be honest, there probably isn't a meaning, but this is a hidden detail that I really didn't expect to find. Right, let's end today's video with The Walking Dead Definitive Edition. The Walking Dead Definitive Edition is a collection of all the Telltale Walking Dead games in one handy package. Now, the changes in this collection are subtle. I mean, sure, there are some slight gameplay improvements, but the main reason for fans to buy this collection are the hours and hours of behind the scenes footage and bonus features that are included. Saying that, the graphics for the earlier games in the series have been given a lick of paint, and it's because of that touch up we can see a really cool detail. During the intro of Season 1's first episode, you can see a very familiar face. So, did you spot him? Well, at the very beginning of the clip, this man can be seen out of Lee's window. So, who is he? Well, this man is known as the Stranger, and he's the person that owned the station wagon that the group stole supplies from in episode 2. From that point on, the Stranger begins to talk to Clem on a walkie-talkie, before eventually having a showdown with Lee in episode 5. Now, at first, I thought that the Stranger's appearance wasn't intentional, maybe a reused character model, for example. But if you go back and play the original version of episode 1, you can't see inside of the cars, so someone purposefully added the Stranger's model to this car. It's a great detail. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for more Easter eggs and details from your favourite games. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.